Good morning. Welcome to January 19th NHL DFS puck drop here. This is Hold the Door DFS at Fantasy Sports Insight. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. If not, just hit the like button if you're enjoying this content that we are putting out for our NHL product every single day. I am the NHL DFS coach in our premium Discord channel. We have a phenomenal community that is sweating every goal. You're getting core plays for not only just what you're seeing here with the Draftkings player pool, but you also get tiers cores, which has been phenomenal, where you don't have to worry about goalie, and it's there's still quite a big edge that I learned actually from Joel Holka quite a bit ago, long ago on tiers. And then also you're going to get the showdown cores and Fanduel. So hop over to that premium Discord channel if you are not there. You can also just get it with our VIP package, and then you can get part of all the sports that we offer here at Fantasy Sports Insight. So let's get into the slate. Last night I was a little bit too heavy on the Wild. I think the spot was still really good against a pretty bad Anaheim team that really doesn't even want to win. Like Gibson only keeps them in the game, but the pace just wasn't quick enough. We couldn't get enough opportunities for Dumba and Kirill to get to score. I mean, I think Fiala still got the shot on goal bonus. Spurgeon probably paid off his tag at 3.7, but Dumba missed that. So here are the totals and the odds. And again, get used to seeing a lot of the same matchups because that's just going to happen. It's going to be these 2-game series like over and over. So we get the Panthers and the Blackhawks again. The Blackhawks, along with, the Sharks last night, honestly look like the two worst teams in the league right now. I think you could make a case for potentially the Devils and the Red Wings, but I think that the Panthers with the 3.7 implied total, you'll see at one of the positions that we'll get to here in a little bit, probably the easiest plug and play of the entire slate. Not really sure how he got mispriced, not only on the first showdown, but also on the first main slate. They are playing against Chicago, who's looked just terrible on defense. Colorado Avalanche getting a matchup with the LA Kings. I think is going to be a smash spot for them, especially with the top line playing together. I really, really like the game environment that we're expected to see here between the Jets and Ottawa. It did not come to fruition necessarily for the Toronto game last night with Winnipeg, but Toronto, I don't remember the final shot total. I think it was, over 30, maybe even over 35. I know at one point it was like 27 in the second period. I don't know what it ended at because they did have the lead. So they might have took the, foot off the gas pedal a little bit. But the game environment was shots on goal and it was fast paced. We just didn't see the goals go in. And you'll see the cover boy is a Jets player that we will get to on the next part of this set video. The Penguins and the Capitals play. Penguins with the 3.4 implied total. I don't really love either side of that game. And when it's I just don't like when those two teams play together from a DFS perspective. It feels like more like it's a playoff game and that they almost cancel each other out. Now, Ovi is obviously in play. Carlson's in play. I think people will stay away from Carlson because he put up a 0 in the last game, which again, that can happen. It's a high variance sport. It's not like LeBron James out there taking, 23 shots. He's not going to put up 0, right? That unless he gets hurt. So the Senators also you see here with a pretty high implied total for being actually they are the favorite in this slate. So I'm not really sure. I guess it depends on the books. I think it's pretty much going to be close to a pick 'em here, but I think the Jets and the Senators are going to present a very high goal total. The biggest money line favorite is the Avalanches in minus 220, the Blue Jackets minus 170 against Detroit, and the Panthers minus 165 against Chicago. And then here's our highest game totals: Winnipeg and Ottawa, Florida and Chicago, and Washington and Pitt, and then Buffalo and Philadelphia. And I don't know. I'm just not buying the Washington and Pitt one, but maybe because I don't love Crosby and Malkin from a DFS perspective on slates that we have like Nathan McKinnon and a couple other guys that I'll get to here. Now, I think this slate might actually, like the builds might start to look different. I think Matthews was again 50% owned last night in cash. Same with McDavid. I think you're going to see the ownership be really high on McKinnon because he's the only stud. But I think after that, I don't think it's not like another Austin Matthews is on here. And I think as we see some of the values soak up and not be as prominent, then you're going to see some different types of builds, at least from a cash game perspective. So love Nathan McKinnon here. Love the Colorado stack in general. So I think it's going to be a popular stack in cash and GPP, but I do like this spot against the LA Kings. Micah Zibanejad, also like him. He's had a little bit of a slow start here. The Rangers have, but overall, I think this is a spot where Zibanejad and Panarin can also be a great little mini stack as well. Jack Eichel and the whole entire Sabres team just absolutely destroyed Philadelphia last night. Taylor Hall and Jack Eichel, I think, both got to the 3-point bonus with the last goal by Victor Olofsson in, with like 1 minute remaining when they're up 5-1. I thought teams just kind of like skated out at that point, but I guess keep the gas on or keep the foot on the pedal, I guess, in hockey. You can't just like play to like waste the time. But then you get Alexander Barkov for the Panthers, who's going to be the second highest favorite of the slate. Honestly, I like Barkov. I do worry a little bit about this, like the goal upside at 6.9K, where Jonathan Huberdeau at the winger position. I think Huberdeau just has a little bit more upside, but I think both are viable. And Barkov actually has, a shot floor and a block shot floor. So both are in play. But we'll get in. We'll continue to talk about it. The mid range. Larkin obviously he had a great game against the Blue Jackets yesterday, and I think we are going to see that shot volume kind of continue to increase. I think they really are going to need to depend on him as they have in the past. So I like Larkin at 6.6K in GPPs. Mark Scheifele, the cover boy. I think just in general, the Winnipeg stack I like here a lot. I just like a game stack honestly here, taking guys from both sides. Duchesne 4,500 is in a matchup with Carolina. That's not amazing. They lost I think 4-2, but I think for the talent per dollar, I think he's a phenomenal play. Then we get down to the value. Stefan, I think, or Stefan, one of McKinley, one of our Discord members said I pronounced it wrong last time. So I should have looked it up on YouTube before I did this, but I think maybe it's Derek Stefan instead of Derek Stefan. He has been in what I would think an elevated role here with Ottawa as a veteran, and he continued. I think he had at least combined 4 or 5 shots and goals plus blocks in the last game. He did not have an assist or goal, but he is definitely going to be on the ice a ton, and he has that equity to block 3 shots or get the 5 shot and goal bonus. So then next to him, not next to him, sorry, on another line with Ottawa is Norris, one of their young prospects. Again, 3,200. I think Ottawa is going to provide a lot of value here, and I think they're just being undervalued by DK. So Eric Stahl, 3,100. I know showed up with at least an assist last night. Again, another play that's just too much talent for too little of a price. And then you have Evan Rodriguez, who has been the first notably player to see his position change already. They put him at the center position, even though he's still been skating on the wing with Sidney Crosby. If that does change in morning skate, then I would probably be off somebody like Rodriguez. I think his value is really correlated to skating with Sidney Crosby. The winger position, by the way, I do have goalies at the end again. So wait out for that. The winger position, Alex Ovechkin, 8,500 is probably the clear stud in the winger position, but I don't think he's a must. I think I just don't love the game environment, but I think you can certainly get to him here if you want. Kyle Connor showed up with a goal last night to continue. I think he had 2 goals in the first game, 1 goal last night. 7,600. I think he can be part of a Winnipeg stack, but I also think there's a player that is much, much cheaper that we could also consider. Patrick Kane, I don't love Chicago, but I think this type of game environment is one that he can thrive in, even if it's not a spot that they are favored against Florida, who can also be just as leaky on defense, but also provide a lot of opportunities for him to put up shots on goal. But I've actually been pretty surprised. He hasn't had a 5 shot on goal game yet, and that's usually something that he is accustomed to doing or being relatively close to on most slates. Panarin 7,300, as I already talked about with Zibanejad. I think both are great plays and maybe a mini stack. I think I actually prefer Panarin for the price difference and the position. Mikko Rantanen, I think, will be really popular, especially with stacks of Colorado, which I think to me feels like the best spot to go to on the slate. So I really like Rantanen at 7.1. And Landeskog as well. I think I forgot to mention him in the mid-range. I'll have to look up his price here in a second, but Landeskog also is a great value and a great way to get access to that line for cheaper. Like I think I mentioned in one of the other videos earlier, I'm just double checking his price here, but in one of the other videos, he's 6,500. So the discount's not that big. When the discount was like down to 5,800, it was like clear. Like if you're not going to full stack that line, then play McKinnon and Landeskog because it was like a $1,300 price difference. But Mikko Rantanen, I do think has more shot on goal upside and more goal upside in general. Jonathan Huberdeau, I talked about earlier, I think is a great option here against Chicago and a great player to stack with Alexander Barkov. No, I take that back. I don't think he's skating with Barkov. You could pair him with him for power play purposes, but I'm pretty sure that they are not skating together. I'll double check that as well. Mid-range, love Blake Wheeler, 5,500 instead of paying 2,100 more for Kyle Connor, and then you could still pair them with Mark Scheifele. So, and also one thing on Mark Scheifele, 2 games in a row hitting that 5 shot on goal bonus. Last year, he was somebody that didn't shoot as much and was more goal assist dependent. I think they have maybe changed some of their tactics a little bit, and 11 shots on goal in his first 2 games is very awesome to see. Atkinson's 4,700 put up a goose egg, I believe, yesterday, but let's try to quickly erase that from our memory and remember how good of a player he actually is. Victor Arvidsson, I think I overlooked him just a little bit yesterday because of the matchup against Carolina, but he showed up at least with a goal and an assist and is also way too cheap for his price. Bjorkstrand had a phenomenal game yesterday. 4,300 again in a matchup against Detroit here is a great spot for him. Olofsson, I can't overlook the Sabres anymore, and Taylor Hall could also be included in the studs here as well. 4,200, I think is just going to be playing too much with Eichel and Taylor Hall to not produce, and he's actually more of a talented player than you get as just a one-off value skater with 2 other really good skaters. I think Olofsson actually, is a talented skater. So I think that adds value to him at 4,200. Stützle had an amazing goal, his first goal in the last game against Toronto, 3,400. I think he's definitely in play. And then probably my lock of the slate is Patrick Hornquist at 3,300, who was also priced at like the dead minimum on Showdown Slate. I don't know if they just kind of forgot who he is or what, but lock him in cash. The defender position, Brent Burns finally proved me wrong last game. I didn't expect St. Louis to be that bad on defense, but there was no defense played on either team in that game. But Roman Josi, 7,200. GPP probably for me, not my favorite spot, but I think he is the cream of the crop along with Carlson here. So I think it might be a little bit more of a pay down day for me at defense, unless I want to use somebody like Cale Makar to pay to correlate with Colorado, or Thomas Chabot to correlate with Ottawa. And Shabbat's going to play like 25 minutes of ice time. He shoots, he blocks, he's part of everything. The mid-range, Seth Jones, somebody mentioned in our Discord right before I recorded this, I think 76 minutes of ice time with not a single point yet. That will certainly probably change today. He did have, I know, the 5 shot on goal bonus. He missed the penalty shot, which is not something that is an easy thing to convert. It's not the rate of success is nothing near like a soccer penalty kick. So, and he's a defender. So, but 4,900 is a great price tag for him. Keith Yandel showed up with a goal against Chicago. 4,500 is a great price for him in the matchup against Chicago. And Rasmus Dahlin, I think, has some positive regression coming his way. I think he's going to get a part of more goals than he has so far this season. Josh Morrissey playing an insane amount of minutes right now for Winnipeg. I'll have to double check, but I think he is on the first power play. If not, he's still playing a ton of ice time in a great matchup here with Ottawa. Montour is another value option for Buffalo. And then I think it's Gudbranson. I don't know how to pronounce his name for sure. 2,800 has been providing really nice value at his price as well. All right, here's the goalie position as we cap off today's puck drop. The studs, I think, if I remember, Leonard would have been a good play. And Carter Hart was absolutely not a good play. So that's what can happen with the pay up studs. Grubauer against the LA Kings as the biggest favorite of the slate, I think is fine in cash. I think I'll just call him Bob because right now I can't talk. So Bob, the goalie for Florida, Sergei Bobrovsky, there you go, is one of the other biggest favorites on the slate. And I think Florida actually just provides more opportunity for shot volume against. He might give up one more goal than Grubauer, but I think both still have really good win equity. And I think Bobrovsky has just a little bit higher save upside. In the mid-range, again, if I pronounce these goalies' names wrong, that's okay. I think it's Gorgev, or I don't know how to pronounce his name for sure, but let's just say the Rangers goalie here who is expected to start, I absolutely love at this price tag, 7,800. And Murray is actually the Ottawa, and I had Hellebuck listed here too. Hellebuck is fine, and Murray, whoever you think is going to win that game, but Hellebuck saw a ton of shot volume yesterday. But I think Murray being cheaper and at home, and the slight favorite, or in a pick'em, I think 7,600 is a fine price tag for him. Pekka Rene, I think Nashville just bounces back against Carolina. I was on Saros a little bit last night, but I think Rene at 7,300 is fine. I think he's going to see a lot of shot volume against with Carolina. That's just what they do. Hutton, I think if you think Buffalo dominates Philly again tonight, Hutton is mega cheap at 7,000. And then Thomas Greiss, I think, is more of a less win equity, more save equity, as we see almost every slate. He might flirt with that 35 save bonus just because of how much offensive pressure Detroit is going to allow. All right. Thanks a lot for listening to another NHL DFS puck drop. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, throw a comment. If you have any questions about the slate, throw it in the comments. Thanks for listening.